So let's look at the classification of the security study. As you know, security study is a new phenomenon in international relations. Actually, in Turkey also, the security study has been accepted as a different discipline, and so if any discipline in progress or to developing progress, we should be good categorized, or maybe we should develop a typology for healthy development. So the classification and produce any concept our duty. You know, academicians works for them. In the general, I mean that in literature, first studies about the security study, security issue, has been analyzed the security according to the reference object. So first classification, we see that the state central. The security studies has lived the golden age during the Cold War time. At the beginning of these studies, the security has been accepted as a matter of the strategy and military concept. So it was state-centered, but later than, that human-centered because of the United Nations Human Development Report 1994. And they are actually about the analyzing levels. And it's the beginning of the security studies, historical beginning. Later on, we see that the international relations and security studies has been overlapped because of some civilian experience has began to study on security studies, security issues. So it's accepted, it's not anymore about the military issue. So in this time, the international relations, the concept of the international relations and theories of international relations and security studies has been overlapped. So we see that at this time, analyzing the divide state level, systemic level, and regional level. Actually, in international relations, you know that state level, systemic level, and sometimes individual levels also. And individual levels has been added to the security study, levels, and ontologic security studies. I will say something about ontologic studies because it's a very confused titles. And later we see that on theoretic level, all time security studies has been dominance of the realism. It's a realistic concept. So the realism has been widened area by new reference object, maybe protection goals or protection ways. Today you see that in the security method has been embedded very different areas, from energy security to maybe city security, kentsel güvenlik in Turkish. And the realism is the dominant approach for security studies. And in my opinion, every approach in security studies has been related with the realism directly or indirectly. It doesn't matter. And threats, interests, power, strategic research is dominant area of this realism. And the other one is a very interesting critical approach. The critical approach takes the issue according to insecurity, not security. The reason of the insecurity. So it's also power and authority, relations of the authority. Michel Foucault and Derrida and etc. The others one. And they have some new reference object, protection goals, protection ways. So the critical approach, another main dividing side of the security studies. And in the other one, constructivist levels. Constructivism also very interesting, and in Turkey, almost everybody liked the worked on the constructivism because it's includes many things, ideas and identity and etc. So criticize not the object but the process Actually, constructivism is not theory, it's an approach in international relations unit. So, we may divide the security studies and analyzing realist security, critical security, and constructivist approach. And last time, there is some problem about this classification or the realistic approach. The first problem, threats and interests belong to states are not real, they are allegoric. You know, the state is not real person. So the threats and interests belong to the real person individually. So they are not delineated exactly. And which symbol, everybody knows that this essay. And second problem, there is no clear distinction between nation security and international security. When you read, for example, Berry Buzan, Security Studies, the very famous books, it's a sometimes they mention about the nation security, sometimes international security, because there's a state at the center of the both studies. So it's not clear. Now we are getting clearer than the before. The third problem, the threat for security are exactly on the state general levels. We are not talking about only state anymore. So it's a third problem. The realism should be expanded. Maybe we need some different approach or different theories. And last time, the ontologic security has been comes to scene. Ontologic security is actually ontology is an old concept, and it's usually produced by the psychologist. As comes from psychiatry, psychology, and psychiatry, and in sociology, they also began to use the ontology security. So ontology security began to used by international relations specialists also. But the origin of we should be remembered that, do not forget, the ontology security, origin of the ontology is related with the individual psychology. So let's look at here. Ontologic security include as a keyword identity, body, and individuality, ego, and routine, and they are new. Okay? Usually they look at the identity, body, and individuality and routines to analyze the ontologic security. Sometimes I see that many studies says that, for example, ontology of any state. You know that every state or every identity, every phenomenon try to be live alone. Firstly, we may call it ontology, but it's not right use because there's some existentialist approach also. So we should decide why we are using ontologic security for a state, because it's related with the individual. Maybe we may use the existentialism. Existentialism, you know, it's related with the philosophy, psychology. So the philosophy is more near to the international relations area than the psychology. So my offer, we should use the existentialist approach instead of ontology while speaking under any state or institutions. If we talk about the individuals, I said that the ontology security has been at individual level to analyzing them in security studies. We may use the ontology security. And when we use the ontology security, the identity, body, and individual routine, they are not enough to explain everything. And when we look at the before, there is a huge area out of the ontologic security. I call that the physical security because the realism, epicentral realism, and the others until constructivism, all of them are related to physical matters. So, you know, the physical security, strategy and politics, include strategy and politics, and human security, political security, international security, and relative security. You may see that with relative security and dispositive security and the Busan studies also, very Busan studies. So relative security include energy security, environmental security, feminist security, etc. Today we talk about the and some neydi bu bilgisayarla ilgili olan alan?
Computational social cyber.
Cyber security. akşam yeah, cyber security.
Olur hocam.
Yes, discussing security, postmodernism, post-structuralism. Actually, the postmodernism is an eclectic approach, not exactly as that he would. It's a criticize everything. He says that reality may divide, and the postmodernism again is the big explanation like the realism. Okay, so it's a different area actually. So we may say that all of them are physical security. So I offer that the security study should be divided two sides. One of them is physical security, the other one ontological security. At this point, there's some problem I said before that the ontological security. First problem, ontological security and existentialism about between. We should be decide that we should be talk about the existentialism or ontological security while speaking about the state. Okay, because state is not real identity. It's a tüzel, Turkish tüzel kişilik, right? And so maybe we can use the existentialism because existentialism related with the philosophy, not psychology. When we talk about existentialism, we should remember that yes, the Soren Kierkegaard, Dostoevsky, Nietzsche, maybe Sartre, it's near than the psychology to the international relations. But of course, we may use the ontology security approach while speaking on the individual level, while speaking on the individuals. And there's a hierarchical relationship between fear and anxiety. Ontology security used as a keyword, fear and anxiety. They are not different. They have hierarchical relationships. Anxiety causes the fear in psychology, according to psychology. Usually they are part of the separately by study and ontology. I see that. It's a wrong using, in my opinion. Okay, anxiety is ignited by external phenomena, and there should be real threats for anxiety. If not, it's a psychological problem. It means that there is no any real threats, but you are feeling the anxiety. It means that psychological problem. You have psychological problem. So the others problem here. And third problem, the relationships among identity, self, and body are not clarified in the ontological security studies. Existence includes identity, body, and itself also. But self has been emerged after the combination of the body and identity. When this combination separates, self also disappears. And fourth problem, routine. It's a routine, very important keyword for ontological security. Routine has been taught as a negative externality, but Nietzsche, for example, says that sometimes to breaking of the routines is a good for anybody or anything, because you are seeing the new vision by this way, okay? So the routine not exactly negative, the breaking of the routines is sometimes a positive effect, okay? So it has been thought that breaking of the routines causes ontological insecurity in general security studies. Is that not right? And to achieve these problems, I offer the using unhandling and frustration to concept also, additionally, in ontological security studies. Unhandling, mental uncertainty, a sense of alienation, a feeling of the belonging, or loss of the sense of affiliations. And frustrations create a sense of self-importance. Frustrations arise when the individual thinks that the manageability of the new situation he faces exists capabilities. You see that all of them are related, strictly related with individuality, and the individuals are very important while decision-making process, because individuals have very important role in the decision-making process. So my offer, ontological security has an open new side to security studies, but it's related with the individuality, and it's comes from psychology. We may use existentialism in philosophy to explain about something about the state, maybe. So we may divide the security studies two main categories. One of them is the physical security. We may put all of them, that's realism, from realism to the constructivism, and the other side, ontological security, because they are very different area. Okay, and existentialism should be worked on. I couldn't see any person or any academician in the international area existentialism, especially focused on existentialism. It's a very plentiful area, in my opinion, because of the philosophy. So it's a near to international relations than the ontological security. Ontology. That's all. It's my opinion. It's an end offer. Maybe it's right or not. Thank you for listening for.